Hi guys, and welcome to my video. So as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking about how a K-pop group changed my life. So a little background on me. My name's Deanna. I'm a 23-year-old single mother of two beautiful children living here in Midwest Indiana. I will apologize now if you hear weird noises or anything like that. Weather's been changing a lot lately, and so I'm actually coming down with a bit of a cold. Anyway, so K-pop. If you haven't heard about K-pop, it is Korean pop music. It comes out of South Korea, and it's actually making a big craze here in the States. It just got this way over the last year or two. I don't know why I'm out of breath. Over the last year or two. As far as K-pop, I never really got into it until just recently. So when it comes to music, I'm actually in the realm of late 90s, early 2000s. That's kind of where I usually stay when it comes to music. So Green Day, there's some Nickelback, Blink-182, stuff like that. Just stuff in that genre. And I never ventured quite out of it. So I've heard a couple of Ariana Grande, some Charlie Puth, Bruno Mars, stuff like that. But it's not anything I've ever gotten into. So let's get into the story. So back around late November, early December, I absolutely hated myself. I can't tell you how much I disliked myself. So at this point, I have been single for about a year and a half. I had tried the dating scene, but nothing had really worked out. So basically my life was go to work, come home, spend time with the kids, do cleaning. That was it. Nothing ventured quite out of there. And so I really disliked my life. Disliked how everything was going, and I had no real goal for the future. So obviously I love my children, and I love the fact that I'm able to provide a nice life for all of us. But I wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy with how I looked. I wasn't happy with my body, nothing like that. And so it's probably a good time that I discovered this K-pop group, because at that time I was starting to have dark thoughts. I knew I'd fallen into a depression, and I'm not one of those people who like to come out and ask for help. None of my family and friends seemed to notice how bad I was getting. It was what it was. So one day I was scrolling through YouTube, I believe it was, and I saw a Jimmy Fallon video pop up in my suggested videos, and it was of Jimmy Fallon interviewing the K-pop group BTS. So I'd heard of BTS. I watch a lot of doll repaint videos here on YouTube. So like Delightful had mentioned BTS in one of her videos, and Hexian had posted a video about BTS, stuff like that. So I'd heard of them, so I decided to click on it, and that's where everything changed. So if you don't know who BTS is, this is BTS. So we have J-Hope, Taeyong, or V, Jin, Jungkook, Suga, Jimin, and RM. So they're a 7-member K-pop group full of some very awesome individuals. So this interview actually took place a little bit after the speech they gave at the UN about their Love Yourself campaign. So they had actually enacted this campaign, and I believe they were partnered with UNICEF. I'm not quite sure, I don't remember, with helping people understand that we all go through some difficult times, and the most important thing is to love yourself, to accept yourself. So hearing them talk like that really inspired me, and then I heard their first song. So I believe the first song I ever heard by BTS was actually Idol, and then Fake Love. So they both showed on Jimmy Fallon. I'll try to link those below. And I fell in love. Then I started watching more interviews, just getting to know more about them and how open they were about their own personal struggles. So RM, his struggles with depression, anxiety, Suga as well, Jimin having troubles with how he looks, stuff like that. It's made him seem more real and more human, really. As far as celebrities go, they all seem picture perfect, but this group, they changed it. They opened up a new light. They made me realize that sometimes we do go through some difficult times, but this is the only life we have. We have to love ourselves. We have to accept ourselves. And it helped me come a long way when it came to looking at my life the way it was. And then not only that, but their music is just phenomenal. So I've listened to every song they have out there. It's fantastic. It really is. If you haven't listened to BTS, go ahead and listen to them. But yeah, BTS. Anyway, so not only was I introduced to the world of K-pop just through BTS, and BTS is the only K-pop group I really listen to. I don't think I've ventured into any other ones. But I was also introduced to their fan group, ARMY, and I don't think, I've ever met such passionate, good-hearted people as I have the BTS ARMY, and I'm glad to say that I'm a part of the BTS ARMY. I'm actually wearing an RJ shirt right now. As I have the BTS ARMY, these people not only take their time to know the group, but they also get to show that there are still people out there who are struggling this way, and how BTS has helped them feel better about themselves. So I love being a part of that. I actually went to the BTS concert in Chicago Field on May 11th, I think it was. And I made so many new friends and experienced so many new things, and I loved it. But the real reason that BTS has changed my life is that they opened a world for me in terms of Korean culture, or South Korean culture. So I was watching their interviews and stuff like that, and obviously they're a Korean pop music group. They're a Korean music group, so they speak Korean, they live in Korea. And so just out of a little bit of fun, I decided, well, maybe I'll learn a little bit of Korean, understand what's in there. And if you've ever studied another language, you know part of learning the language is learning the culture. And that's where I fell in love. I fell in love with a lot of things Korean has. I fell in love with the language. In fact, here's my giant group of Korean textbooks. So I got some Talk to Me in Korean and Go Billy Korean. So introduced me to that, and then learning more about the Korean culture introduced me to some amazing YouTubers. So like Go Billy Korean, Mikey Chen from Strictly Dumpling, Miss Mina Oh, and stuff like that. And I've always loved language. I really have. I took 4 years of Spanish in high school. I was learning a little bit of Japanese, and then I was introduced to Korean, and yes, Korean language is a little hard to learn compared to Spanish or stuff like that, but the way it's set up and the way everything happens, it just made me fall in love, and it gave me something to be passionate about. So I decided, I'm not going to do this as a hobby. I really want to learn this language. And then the more I dug into Korean, the more I learned Hangul and some of the language, the more inspired I was. And in fact, this is what helped me decide to go back to school. And I'm going back to school for this. For early childhood education. You're probably wondering, well, how did learning about Korean make you want to go to school for early childhood education? I'm going to school for the early childhood education degree. In fact, I'm going to get a bachelor's degree, and I'm actually looking at possibly getting a master's after that. But I want to teach English in Korea and possibly Japan, stuff like that. But I want to teach English there. English is a language I speak natively, and it's something I feel like I've taken advantage of. But being able to go to South Korea to make a difference in somebody's life, that's what I want to do. So in Korea, South Korea, you have to have a bachelor's degree to teach. So I thought might as well get it in something that I can use once I'm done traveling, once I'm back in the States and live full time. So I decided to pick up early childhood education, and I'm also going to be getting my TEFL certification, so teaching English as a foreign language certification, come January, February. And hopefully one day I get to go and teach English in Korea. I don't know what that leaves. If I'm going to end up taking my kids there, I don't know what that part of future leaves. But this is one goal that I've never had. I went to school for I thought I'd wanted to be a doctor at one point, never pursued that. I wanted to keep working in the job field I'm working now, but I'm finding I just can't handle it anymore. And having this kind of goal is really inspiring to me, and I'm enjoying every aspect of it, of learning the culture as I go through, learning the language, getting to enjoy these guys and listening to their albums. These are the same albums, but they're pretty, so getting to learn about them. Like, I wouldn't be here if I hadn't stumbled across that Jimmy Fallon photo or video. I really wouldn't have. I don't know where I would be in my own mindset. I really don't. Because as I mentioned, I was in a dark place. I had dark thoughts. Thoughts that I had never had in my life at that point. And because of BTS, because I learned about them and they helped drive me to find a goal, my life has completely changed. I know it sounds corny for me to say a Korean pop group, a music group, helped change my life, but they really did. And I will forever be grateful for that. Granted, I don't think I'll ever meet them, and if I do, it'll be the happiest, probably the third happiest day of my life, but having them there, having them teach me, again, how to love myself, and then introducing me to this culture has been one of the greatest things to happen to me, and I'm really glad that it did. So, yeah. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. I hope that maybe you'll decide to check out BTS, or maybe look into some Korean culture. If you guys want me to review any of my Korean textbooks, just let me know, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.